Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at some more information about Prismatic Evolutions, the allocations thereof, and how difficult this set might be to pick up. I've been doing a bunch of digging, chatting to a bunch of friends, and I've got some more information. And look, with sets like this, Pokemon don't come out and say, right, big box stores in the US get this percentage of what they ordered, and little stores get this percentage based on how many years they've been ordering from us. They don't do that. So what we have to do is basically dig around and get the best information we can. So like, for instance, the other day, we were talking about this, and I told you that, people like the lovely Stephen Kent, he of Playscape Games over in the UK, was saying that little stores in the UK are getting about 40%. Which is obviously less than half, and it's not ideal, but it's something. It's not the worst possible, it just could be better. We expect bigger stores to get more, incidentally, for pretty obvious reasons. Pokemon need the bigger stores more than they need the littler stores, ergo the bigger stores are more valuable, ergo you're going to give them more stock. Every single company in every single market does this. It's pretty standard, you kind of have to. I told you that in the US there are many different distributors, so pinning down the information is going to be a lot more difficult. I also told you that with allocations being sent out, we had gotten to the point where people were going to start seeing their orders being cancelled. And we have actually seen this. I have seen a bunch of people over the past couple of weeks saying that their pre-orders have been cancelled. And yeah, it sucks. Now, I'm not going to name this store for pretty obvious reasons. I'm not trying to put anyone on blast. I've seen this in a bunch of different places. But here's something I saw on Facebook from a store. Unfortunately, today is not a good day. We've received word from our distributor that allocation for Prismatic Evolutions has been severely reduced. As a result, pre-orders for this set will unfortunately have to be reduced or cancelled altogether. When we post a pre-order for a product, we place it in good faith based on our previous allocations from distributors. The supply of Prismatic Evolutions is an issue across the country and has, in part, the result of the latest boom in the Pokemon TCG community. Worth noting, of course, that with Pokemon TCG Pocket coming around, there's a bit of a boom going on, not just because of Pocket, there's a bunch of reasons, but Pocket is certainly helping to push it. The point I'm making is, this is just one of a million Facebook posts I've seen. It's happening. Now, what I will say is, we kind of could have seen this coming. I don't know why stores are taking pre-orders on stuff like Prismatic Evolutions when sets are this, and it's going to happen with battle partners. I'm telling you right now, it is going to happen with battle partners. I am calling it right now. Stores are going to take pre-orders based on previous allocations. Battle partners, as I keep telling you, is a set which is going nuts, and the allocations are going to end up being cut because it is a set that is going nuts, and people are trying to order more, and then a bunch of pre-orders are going to get cancelled. Please, for hype sets, be very careful where you place your pre-orders. A lot of stores take pre-orders without confirmed allocation, assuming that they're going to get what they're imagining. And again, I've told you this many times before, and I've seen a bunch of posts specifically about Prismatic Evolutions over the past couple of weeks. It's just gonna keep happening for hype sets. Please be very, 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 very careful. All right? Good. The good news is we have now gotten to the point where allocations are being given out. And that does mean that from now on, although again, cannot stress this enough, please be careful, we should be getting towards a point where pre-orders are going to be a lot more reliable. But that doesn't mean they're not being cut. Now, from what I'm hearing, over in Oceania, it is frankly a little bit worse. So basically, this is what people are being sent in Oceania, and it's not wonderful news. Due to product availability for the Pokémon Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer Box and Elite Trainer Box Carton of 10, pre-orders placed after the 9th of November will be included in a second shipment expected to arrive in May-June 2025. Bearing in mind we're talking specifically about Elite Trainer boxes here, the release date for which is January the 17th. And a bunch of people that are pre-ordering them are now getting them in June. That's 5 months later, dudes. That is not particularly close. And it does go on to say, rest assured your pre-order is secure and will be fulfilled in May and June. If you have any questions, please head to your local EB Games or Zing Pop Culture. If you placed your pre-order in Oceania with those companies, it is not looking great. Unless you ordered it early enough, in which case you will still be fine. It's not ideal, is it? Now, there is a weird kind of silver lining in this announcement, and that is that they are preparing a second shipment, and there is going to be more stock made available, and this is good, just takes a while. It's also saying that the 9-pocket portfolio, yeah, that's not got any cards in, don't worry about that, but the poster collection, binder collection, and text sticker collection, they are still going to be available. There's going to be walk-in stock, so you are still going to be able to get packs. Now, you want the Elite Trainer box, I get it, and I know it's not the same, and I'm not pretending it's the same, but there is going to be some stock available. It's just not going to be as good. And please remember that when it comes to this set, we do have a staggered release. We don't have everything coming out on the same day, so there is going to be more opportunities to get products down the line. We know that when we get past January the 17th, we get the mini tins on February the 7th. And we get the surprise box on February the 7th. Although, as a side note, remember the surprise box, that's the one that's got the stamped promos in. These are going to be very awkward to get hold of. Just telling you that right now. These are going to be a pain because of the promos. But then we've got plenty of other stuff coming in at a booster bundle on the 7th of March, which is just 6 packs for the price of 6 packs. That's going to be the one that a lot of people want just for getting a lot of packs of the set. So there is good news here, but the good news tends to be more down the line. Because over in Australia, we're hearing people are going to have to wait potentially 5 months for their pre-order to be filled. That's not ideal. Here in the UK, a bunch of shops are getting 40% of their order. That's not ideal. Over in the US, I'm seeing a lot of cancelled pre-orders from shops that took too many pre-orders and then have had to cancel it. Which does keep happening for every hype set, so read into that what you will. My point is, Prismatic Evolutions is going to be a bit rough at the beginning. And it is, there's no way around it. But when you look at some of the cards that are available, things like the Umbreon and Sylveon Special Illustration Rare, those are very big cards. Things like the Umbreon and Sylveon Pokeball and Master Ball cards, they are very big cards. But we do need to remember we've kind of been here before. Like, we've had sets. Like, don't get me wrong, right now, trying to buy 151 is a bit of a nightmare. I ain't pretending it's not. But I am also going to tell you that there was a point where 151 was pretty readily available. It might not have been every product that you wanted. Certainly the booster bundles never really stayed in stock great for 151. But I bought a bunch of 151 pretty readily in a bunch of different places. It was out there for a while, despite at times like on release being very, very hard to get hold of. On day one, Elite Trainer boxes for Paldean and Fates were kind of really annoying to get hold of. Paldean and Fates, and it didn't actually last for very long, but day one, Elite Trainer boxes for Paldean and Fates were kind of a pain. And they've resolved very, very nicely. Pokemon do have a history lately, in the last few years, of coming through when it comes to stock and making these products available. However, that's not always immediately. Prismatic Evolutions, we've got a bunch of things lined up over the next few months. We're already seeing new deliveries being confirmed. It is going to be okay. I believe, and I can't prove this, but I do believe it's going to be okay as we go along. But initially, yeah, this looks pretty rough. It looks like on release Prismatic Evolutions is going to be a little bit of a pain, and all I can say is, and I've said this many times before, support your local game store. Because if you support your local game store, you will find that when stock is very hard to get hold of, and it's really annoying to try and find particular products, well, all of a sudden, your local game store, they're going to be focusing on the people that have been supporting them. The people that go there even when things are a little bit cheaper online. And then when things are very difficult to get hold of, would you believe it, there just so happens to be stock for you at your local game store. Well, would you believe it? So there we go. That's the news. That's the update. It's not wonderful news, I'm afraid. I'm telling you what I've got. And look, this is partly it's a fluid situation and partly it does vary depending on where you are, what distributor you've used, where you've put your pre-order in, etc. It's not an easy thing to just sit here and tell you. So I've given you the best information I can based on the conversation I've had with people. That's what I can do. For now, it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this. Have you got your pre-order in? Does it seem secure? Let me know all of this in the comment section. Good us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Dojo, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.